You know that we have a problem there? We're now addressing it.
This is the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2, and verse 12 in the NLT. It says, then they will be condemned for enjoying evil rather than believing the truth.
Call halal.
YAHAWAH,
BAHASHAM,
YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH.
Let's give all praise to the Most High, in the name of His only begotten Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to our teachers, the elders, and apostles, the great millstone, who taught us His truth and sincerity. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad. Shalom to the 144,000. I'm the brother Ibar from the Prophets of Babylon camp down here in Tampa, Florida. Next to me,
Brother Napak.
Brother, I'm on.
we come together just to do this lesson real quick in the spirit. Praise edifying to the hopeful elect concerning the hell that's about to come, Jacob's trouble. All right, the Bible speaks about a time called Jacob's trouble, and you got this, you know, this whole thing with the FBI getting sent out to that particular city. You know, that right there is just a precursor. You know, just the beginning of what they're about to do, and they're talking about sending task forces. Okay, because Jake out there with switches. Jake out there, you know, thinking that they good, thinking that everything is gonna be okay, thinking that they can just, you know, do whatever they want to do and not get caught, not get in trouble. But now the Lord is about to send judgment upon our people. All right, it is worse than you thought. The Lord is about to send a great death and destruction, and Esau is going to be the sword, you know, the whooping stick he's going to use. Go ahead, bring it back.
This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 12 in the NLT. It says, then they will be condemned for enjoying evil rather than believing the truth.
Right, and that's the majority of our people here in America. So you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Indians, you're going to be condemned for enjoying evil rather than the truth. Okay, being wicked, you know, not adhering to the men of the Lord, not keeping the commandments to the best of your ability. By now, everybody know they ain't supposed to be eating pork. You know, Boosie said it. Everybody know that they ain't supposed to be a damn homosexual. You know, but niggas are still being wicked. So the Lord said, hey, you ain't want to get together with this truth? Now you're going to be condemned. You're going to be damned. Okay? Great death and destruction is coming. We're here to warn you, to warn our people of the time we're coming into where Esau is about to make his move.
Yep.
Okay? This devil about to make war against the Israelites.
Yep.
Okay? And those of you niggas that don't know, he coming for you all the same. All right? He wants to be in the Lord, but he coming for all our people, and it's going to be a great slaughter. 2/3 about to die.
You know, and it says for enjoying evil, you know, because Jake enjoyed evil. They enjoy, you know, wickedness. You know how many times brothers, you know, try to tell Jake, all right, you know, to forsake the way of this world, all right, and that YNS status, all right. But Jake enjoyed that status. They you know, promote it, you know, amongst young Jake, man, and that's what Esau's doing. That's a part of Esau's tactics and devices. All right, as he put the music, all right, the role models that Jake have, they're all wicked. You know, that gang affiliated, you know, whole culture, you know, is promoted, and you know, for our people mainly, man. You know, so you tell Jake now, hey man, come back to the Lord. You know, Jake ready to up the switch on you, man. You know.
Yeah, that's right. If I may add too, you know, that's why the scripture says, 2 Ezra, all right, chapter 9, where they shall know that the death by pain. All right, because Jake is hard-headed, stiff-necked, and things like this is going to have to take place for Jake to see it.
Right,
okay?
right.
Yep.
And Trump said he's going to unleash the law enforcement. He's going to unleash this law enforcement, meaning he's going to get down and dirty. He's going to send these troops out, these Roman, you know, soldiers, these Roman troops to come out here and start stomping your heads in. Curve stomping you on the side of the street in your hood. It's how Esau is moving. That's why he's talking about he's sending the FBI. And then they're going to send the next one, he's sending the military. Trump is the guy that's going to go there. Okay? Yeah. What did Trump say? And what she going to go into it, how they going to start locking you up, man. You know, he's talking about suspending habeas corpus where you don't get no fair trial. Okay? They just lock your ass up and you just don't get out. This Jacob's trouble. The Lord warned us of this time we're coming into. So if he even think you got a gun, he locking your ass up.
Right, and you see how they came for Northern Kingdom. Now they coming for you Southern Kingdom, man.
Right.
You see, what shows you that in the times we're coming into is that it's about to get worse. All right, you thought it was getting worse for Northern Kingdom. It's about to get really, bad for you Jakes, man.
Yep.
Because that's who they really want. Okay?
Yep.
They want to demonstrate their sword upon you.
I got a precept as well. I can bring it up.
Go ahead.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 14 says, "For Yahawah shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil." So, the Lord's bringing every work into judgment. What Jake, put out into this world, into this earth, their works, or whether it be hurtful works, bad, fruits or good fruits. You're going to be, rewarded your portion. That's why Jake, right now, you have Jacob's trouble. You have Jacob's trouble because that's Jake's reward for their wickedness.
Right.
All right. Jacob's trouble is meant for 2/3 Jakes, man.
That's right.
All right. And the Lord's going to deliver his man out of it. All right. Because that's going to be our portion. Lord willing, we are of that number. All right. But that's going to be our portion. All right. Because we serve and we sacrifice our time, and our effort and our energy for the Lord BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. All right. But these niggas out here, trying to be, YNS. All right. Trying to be of this world, and because of that, because they was brought up, in wickedness, and they continue to strive in wickedness, the Lord's going to bring evil unto them.
Right.
And he's going to use Esau, his weapon, to do it.
Yeah, that's why in the thumbnail you used to use an image of them storming the projects. Because Jake in the projects, Jake ain't got shit to their name. Esau gonna come in there like he in Afghanistan. Okay? He gonna come in there like he in Iraq. And look at what happened over there.
Hey.
All right, some of these police officers are military vets. So they know when they get the green light to turn up, they're gonna turn up.
Yep. Hey, if I mean add, you got like you brothers, was saying, these individuals, man, are fully suited up. They prepared for these things. Me and the brother, we did a lesson about it, like a little bit back, where they're already somewhere in the woods, goddamn preparing, running drills.
Right.
Hey, they're already getting their mindsets and swords ready to slay.
Right. It was a white supremacy compound where it's just all Edomites in there training to come for you niggas. They're getting ready. They know what this comes up to. They know how this is gonna go.
And them be the same ones that be right behind those uniforms, man.
Right.
Getting backed by Esau.
Right.
So when it comes to your rights and it comes to anything to you, Jake's getting defended, there's not gonna be no justice, man.
Yeah, there's gonna be no defense. If you don't have YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI these days we're coming into, you don't have no defense. Okay? It's like being in a gunfight with no type of protection. Just standing out there.
Jake got that with a knife and Esau got a gun.
Right. So it's gonna get bad, and this is why the Lord sent the prophets out here to warn you. This is why we do these lessons, these shows, the camps, to warn our people. That's our job. That's our sole purpose, is to warn our people. Okay, to speak the words of YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI and warn our people, because the time we're coming into is gonna be biblical. Okay, it's gonna be a time like never before in history. This is all prophesied in the Bible. All right, so let's play this video, and then we'll grab some more precepts. All right. And we're gonna add commentary as we go. This video comes from the brother Arrows of Indignation 144. Go subscribe to that brother channel. He put up a lot of beautiful shorts for edification. You can always do a video, man. It's always a topic.
Shalom.
Shalom, YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM QADASH. All right, let's play.
The FBI has put a task force together, and do you know where they're coming? Memphis, Tennessee. If the FBI is coming to Memphis, Tennessee with task force, what do you think they're gonna do? This is not a motherfucking drill nor a motherfucking game. Black parents of children in Memphis, Tennessee, you better wake up, and you better wake up real fast, because this is not gonna be nice. They are not coming to send a task force there just so they can play footsies with y'all. This is what they've been preparing for decades. Remember when he said homegrown criminals? Yeah. Whatever y'all got going on in Memphis, Tennessee, you better wrap it up. And I mean wrap it up right now. They have privatized prisons all over the U.S. and outside of the U.S. with cots that are empty, ready to go. And these companies who own these privatized prisons are ready to put them in these work release programs and work them for free. This is not a drill, nor is it a game. Y'all better get serious about this, and I mean serious about it really quickly, because they're coming, and they're not going to stop until they get what they want.
Yeah, they coming.
Criminals.
They coming, man. It's all through the Spirit. The Lord is sending this. He's gearing these Edomites up to come down with great wrath upon you, Jakes, that don't want to repent, that don't want to get right. So the Spirit, she said it like that. They're coming. Okay, because this ain't just gonna be in Memphis. This is which it's number Jake out there. All right, that's what them country ass Jakes at, man. You know, but you got beloved brothers out there as well. You see, so when Esau roll, he ain't just gonna start trying to shoot at anybody who look like they didn't have a switch. Okay, if it's brown, put it down. All right, this is the time of Jacob trouble we're coming into. So you Jake just gonna be open season on niggas. Okay, just like how it was in the old times here in America, it's gonna be worse than that. All right, now these Edomite slave catchers out here with automatic weapons. They gonna be taking a lot of Jakes at one time. It's gonna be a great slaughter.
Hey, they showed you that when it was deporting a lot of those immigrants or Northern Kingdom. All right, it would be some people that was here legally. All right, or some people that would just speak Spanish, and they would be deporting them all the way to their country.
Or a different country, into a prison,
Yep.
in a foreign country, with gang members.
Exactly, and that shows you that these devils don't care, man. All right, so how much more for Jake? All right, you may not be a criminal, you may not be in that type of lifestyle. All right, but they still gonna run down on you. All right, because you still got some racist cops that's there.
Right. Hey, and that gives them opportunity to go full, fledged, man. Because see, Jake already get pressed by looking suspicious.
Yeah.
Quote unquote. So how much more in the time where all hell breaking loose, where there's everybody being suspicious, or everyone's looking suspicious, man. Now we gotta check IDs. Now we gotta check, verification with things.
Yeah, because really it's gonna be like how they have stop and frisk, frisk check on at random. Really, it's gonna be a police state where there is good, martial law. The Constitution is gonna be suspended. They're gonna be able to do whatever they want to do.
And that's what Trump wants.
Right. Total control.
I got two things that I heard I wanted to bring out.
Go ahead.
She said homegrown criminals, right?
Oh, and Trump mentioned that in his when he was talking about those Venezuelan and El Salvadorian prisons. He said you got to make some more buildings for our homegrown. So this is what they was talking about, and we told you this. When we did videos on this, we told you this was coming. They was gonna come down the line and start grabbing all Jakes up, send your ass off to a El Salvadorian prison. They say you don't leave out there unless you leave in a body bag. I wanted to do a video on it, but I did not send it to the Akim. There is alleged pictures of drone footage of that particular El Salvadorian prison, and they caught bodies piled up in the back. Okay, you don't. And they said that the owner, or the head of that prison said you don't leave out of here unless it's in the body bag. That's where they put your ass. You're a criminal or gang member. But you got people that's not gang members that got nothing to do with that, and they getting sitting there. Okay, so the Lord is about to turn it up, and it's upon you 2/3 Jakes. And some of us brothers might get put in these type of predicaments in these situations. We gonna trust in YAHAWASHI.
Yeah. Over there, what is it, Memphis, Tennessee? They also have sundown towns there.
Yeah.
So there's already racist individuals there, ready for something to happen, waiting for this. Like I said, that's among those FBI or the cops, or the feds. You got racist, Edomites in there as well. They might label you as a criminal. And you probably just walking late at night, all right?
Right, and their families, because they're going to deputize them other Edomites.
Oh, yeah.
Trump already talking about doing that, deputizing citizens.
Right.
He ain't going to deputize them niggas, he going to deputize these Edomites, and they all come up against Jake.
Right, because he going to have pretty much recruiting them.
Right.
I got that homegrown criminals. Okay, grabbing that because I looked it up and I wanted to see as more for going into the information on it. It says homegrown violent extremists are a diverse group of individuals that can include U.S.-born citizens.
Yeah, U.S.-born citizens. Man, you was born in America, they're going to treat you like you was an illegal. Okay, you see what's going on with northern tribes. They're going to treat you like you. And really, this land belongs to the Northern Kingdom. Gad and, Issachar was already here. They got shipped out, and now they're trying to get their land back. And that's the last thing he thought was getting them their land back. So now here it is, this devil, he's, in his last hoorah to fight for his kingdom, to fight for his land, and he's going to go all out.
Right. It says, continuing, neutralized citizens. It says green card holders or other long-term residents.
Right. So anybody in America can be considered a homegrown. You know, you commit one crime and they sending your ass. They sending you abroad. That's the whole thing. You know, for you to ship your prisoners out of the country is crazy, but that's what this devil is doing. He's going to increase. You know, he's going to really turn up, and a lot of it's going to be upon 2/3 of our people that did not repent, that do not want to get right, and the Lord's just going to have to destroy him. That was it on that.
It's listed a little bit more. It says foreign students or illegal immigrants, which you have it where, see, these devils, they play on words, man. You know, they'll use certain things to really hit deeper meanings, you know, all right, because they know what targets they want to hit, but they have to do it through gradualism and in waves. So they'll do it in that way, like they're saying now, oh, we're homegrown criminals, and then they'll hint, you know, where they need to put more of this task force into certain communities. And you only know that Jake got all these communities.
Well, Trump just said that. He said that the black community needs more policing.
Exactly. What he said.
They've been begging for it. Something like that he said. So that means that they're telling you what they're doing if you're paying attention. If you have the eyes to see and ears to hear, they're telling you what they're doing. They're going to send, he said he's going to unleash the law enforcement. I mean, he's going to let them do whatever they need to do to get the job done.
Right.
You know?
So to back you up, I grabbed that task force, and you brothers got it. Says an armed force organized for a special operation.
A special operation, Operation Jacob's Trouble. Okay, that's the video, Operation Jacob's Trouble. That's the time we're coming into. That's the prophecy that's coming up. Operation Jacob's Trouble. This devil about to come down with great wrath. He's about to, they're getting ready. Okay, that's what she said. They're coming. Okay, and they're not going to stop till they get what they want. Okay, and what do they want? Scripture says how Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. He want to kill you. That's his heart's desire. That's in every one of their spirits. You know, especially now that they're about to lose their kingdom, because they know that we're next up.
It says, what does a task force do? It says a task force is a group of people, often specialists, brought together to address a specific issue or project. They are particularly, it says they are particularly temporarily organizations formed to tackle a particular problem, study a situation, or carry out a specific operation.
The problem is you niggas, man. All right, that's their problem. You know, is Jake.
Right.
You know, and that's where they're gonna, you know, that's where their operation's gonna be at, is in Jake neighborhoods.
Hey, that's why they got it right now. They're talking about it, black fatigue.
Oh yeah.
All over the internet,
Yeah.
black fatigue. You guys tired of you Jakes, man.
Yeah.
And we tired of you niggas too. But Esau is ready to shed blood.
Yeah.
Okay, he's ready to shed blood. And this is what we've been warning you about through the Spirit.
Right.
Hey, Esau a different type of tyrant, man. He's the type of tyrant he wants you exterminated, never seen again.
Well, that's Psalms 83.
Yeah.
But
I got a
I'm gonna
precept.
finish this up.
Hold on, I got a precept. Don't worry about
Okay,
it.
come.
It says Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 5. Thus saith the Lord YAHAWASHI, and evil and only evil, behold, is come. And end is come, the end is come, it watcheth for thee, behold, it is come. She said that. She said they're coming. And they won't stop till they get what they want. It's coming. This is what the Lord warned us about. An evil, a bad time is coming. It's not going to get better. Why do you think people getting evicted? Like how they get evicted? People getting, you know, fired. How they getting fired, laid off, or whatever you want to call it. They're leaving your ass out there. All right. And when they come through with that sweep, people going to be stuck in the streets, looking crazy, confused, not knowing what's going on, and you're going to get either blown away or rounded up into a camp. All right.
The scripture says the end shall be made manifest. All right, and we're seeing it right before our eyes, the end being made manifest. You know, Jacob's trouble, gearing up. You know, and you got a lot of, like, you know, brothers been speaking on it. It's a lot of tension between Jake and Esau right now, man.
Right.
You know, that's building up. You know, so it's about to get to that point where Esau's just gonna say, you know, hey man, let's just do away with these niggas, man.
And Trump's the guy.
Yeah.
Trump's the guy to do it.
Yeah.
These Edomites rally behind Trump. They worship Trump. He say one word. That's why when they had that whole January 6th thing, which was a psyop too, but, you know, he said, stand down. He said he commanded them. That's the thing. He commanded them, man. He said stand down until further notice, or some shit like that. He said, and they stood down. You know, but so, you know, wait till he tell them to. It's okay. Now it's time. So he gonna start deputizing these Edomites. This is what the Lord is telling us in this
Memphis,
time.
Tennessee is the homicide capital of America per capita. Didn't know that. We have a problem there. We're now addressing it. We're rolling out one of our task forces in the state of Tennessee. But we also know that Ohio possesses the roadway system where the trafficking is through the roof just because of the interstate. So you have to get out there in the field, not just let the FBI agents and intel folks get out there and do the work, but partner with state and local law enforcement.
FBI Director Kash Patel this weekend about Memphis on national television Sunday. He called the city the homicide capital of America and announced plans to send a task force to Tennessee to tackle the issue. ABC 24's Scott Mattis is here to break it all down. Scott, good evening.
Good evening to you, Pat. Kash Patel also said he did not know Memphis was actually the homicide capital of the United States until he took his oath of office just a few short months ago. And now he says he'll be sending federal agents right here to put an end to the violent crime. Now, I can also tell you, he said this: I didn't know this intel by confirmation process, but Memphis, Tennessee is the homicide capital of America per capita. Now, didn't know that. We have a problem there. We're now addressing it. We are rolling out one of our task forces to the state of Tennessee. That's what FBI Director Kash Patel declared on national news just yesterday. And Monday morning, that declaration is reverberating across the city of Memphis. This comes after the Memphis Shelby Crime Commission told ABC 24 News last year that the rate of major crime, I should say earlier this year.
Hey, that was you know, a great strategy they used right there. You know, to put this individual in the seat.
The state of Tennessee.
To put this guy in the seat, because if you look at him, you know, he got that dark skin. You know, so they can't say racist. You know, he will be a so-called minority as well. You know, though he's a heathen, but they put him in that position. You got to think about it. He's the head of the FBI. You know, so Trump positioned him in that position so that he can use him in that day to come down with this great wrath they about to come down with. And you can't say racist because he's so-called Indian or whatever.
Right.
You know?
And if you look at all these similar situations, that is what they're bringing this task force for in Memphis. You got it in Chicago. You got this in major different states.
Right.
So who's to say that they won't use the same, you know, idea for multiple different states to bring in that ultimate martial law?
Yeah, well, this is just the beginning to that.
Yeah.
That's all. This is just, like I said, this is just a precursor. This is all just the beginning to ultimately bringing this police state, you know.
It's like an experiment, you know, and that's how it was on the first Purge.
Right.
You know, it was like it was the movie, The First Purge, not the actual First Purge movie, but they tested out the Purge on the island full of
Right.
Jake.
Right.
All right, to experiment and see how this will go. Would it be a success? You know, and that's what they're doing now. They're gonna, you know, use this as a test, and then ultimately it's gonna go all around the whole, you know, to Chicago, you know, down here in Florida, Jacksonville, all these different, you know, bad areas.
Where Jake
is
at?
You know, literally.
In the NLT, it says, Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 5, this is what the sovereign Lord says: disaster after disaster is coming your way. The end has come. It has finally arrived. Your final doom is waiting. Final doom, man. You know, YAHAWASHI is about to send that you know, that last destruction upon you niggas. It's because you got to think about it. Generation after generation after generation, we've been coming back. Lord been judging you a little bit, but now you're coming into that final doom.
Yo.
That great, and it's the last time we ever gonna die.
No.
If we die, this is the last time we're gonna. So Lord gonna have to show us You know how your parents give you your ass when you get lashes, and that last whooping, it gotta make it sting, so you know.
Right.
Yeah.
The Lord gonna make it sting.
It's gotta linger.
Yeah, you make it linger. Like you gonna know that this wasn't for nothing. You know, you want no punishment for nothing. You disobeyed, and now you know better. But now the Lord's gonna change us. We're gonna be perfect. We're gonna serve the Lord forever. We're not gonna go off against YAHAWASHI forever. But what the Lord's about to do, He's about to unleash His whooping stick, which is Esau.
Yeah, and the scripture say evil and only evil is to come.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
Jake is, you know, they're praying and hoping for better years and better days, but the Lord has prophesied for more and more evil to come upon this place. All right, and it's gonna first start at the Lord's house, you know, with Jake.
Jake, yeah.
All right, it's gonna first start with Jake, and it's gonna be, you know, the worst next couple of years for Jake, man. All right, as you see, you know, these devils are cracking down on Jake as hard as they is now. All right, how much more in a few years? How much more in a few months or weeks or even days, man? You know, because we're definitely close to that time.
I got a quick one right here.
You know, go ahead.
This is Amos chapter 3, verse 6. It says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and it says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Yeah. It says,
and ultimately, you know, the Lord's using us as that trumpet.
Right.
You know, we warning Jake, telling Jake, all right, what's to come, what these devils got behind, you know, behind what these devils are doing behind closed doors. You know, for you know, they're gonna start showing their horns, and Jake gonna, you know, really be scared then. All right, but they're not listening to us, you know, until all hell really break loose.
Right, exactly. You have it where it's word going out, and Jake be more ignorant to this than it is when you got folly going on. You know, it says, shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord YAHAWASHI have not done it?
And that word evil goes into bad times. Shall there be a bad time in the city, all hell breaking loose in the city, and the Most High have not done it? The Lord is the one that's doing this. This is the power that we serve. He's telling us what he's about to do. She's showing us how to avoid being caught up in it. And we're warning you of what to do so you don't get caught up in it. You know, if it be the Lord's will. So this is what this is all about. Go ahead.
Oh, that's it on that.
It says, Psalm chapter 17, verse 8. Keep me as the apple of the eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings. From the wicked that oppress me. From my deadly enemies who compass me about. And these devils, they compassing us about. They get ready to move on us. They got sleeper cells in here. You know, they got task force. They can send, and they gonna catch Jake unawares. They gonna come through and just start, you know, gunning. Okay. So King David was praying this in his time, saying, you know, from the wicked that oppress me, you know, from my deadly enemies. They mean us. They want to kill us. They truly want to kill us. Okay, this is the whole thing. Jacob's Trouble is not going to be something just on the movie where you see, oh, yeah, no, it's going to be real life. You're going to be in the movie, okay? The worst movie.
Right.
It says they are enclosed in their fat. With their mouth they speak proudly. They have now compassed us in our steps. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth, like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. Arise, O Yahawah, disappoint him. We need the Lord to intervene for us. That divine intervention. It says, arise, O Yahawah, disappoint him. Cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Right. So Esau is the Most High's sword. Whenever we got a line, the Most High says Esau, and that's what he's about to do to the majority of our people. He's about to unleash a ravenous dog. Okay? A wild mutt. And he gonna just go to biting. Okay? Somebody grab that dog to tear. It says, from men which are thy hand, O Yahawah, from men of the world which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure, they are full of children, and leave the rest of their substance to their babes. As for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness. I shall be satisfied when I awake with thy likeness. We got to be changed, man. And that's why the scripture says in the twinkling of an eye, you know, the Lord's going to change us. So when all this hell is going around and bullets is flying, hey, you're going to be indestructible. Okay? The Lord's going to change us, man. Okay? And we shall be renewed. But the majority of our people, it's going to be a complete slaughter. You know, if you got Superman in the middle of a gunfight, in the middle of World War III, you know, he's unfazed. But your average human is going to be, you know, dead. So a lot of people are going to die. And this is why they're saying this. You see, we can read between the lines. And we always watching for these prophecies of showing us, you know, of these major prophecies like Jacob's Trouble. You got that?
God.
Jacob's Trouble is a major prophecy. So we watching for these things for when they come, going into Jacob's Trouble, when this devil gonna move. Let's play some more.
That's what FBI Director Kash Patel declared on national news just yesterday. And Monday morning, that declaration is reverberating across the city of Memphis. This comes after the Memphis Shelby Crime Commission told ABC 24 News last year that the rate of major crime, I should say earlier this year, fell by nearly 9%, 8.8 to be exact, this year when compared to the first quarter of 2024. Now, Memphis City Councilman, and he's also the chairman, J.B. Smiley, tells me Monday he welcomes the FBI's help if they keep their word, but he also says getting those guns and those switches off the streets should be everyone's biggest priority.
Well, Jake always talking about having a switch. They talking about getting them switches off the street. How they gonna get them off the street? They gonna come get them off you. They see you all over Facebook, flashing your guns, all over Snapchat. They got their social media too. I did a video about that, man. They got their social media. They got, you know, cameras everywhere. They see you, Jake, when you know, doing your music videos and you showing your guns. They can zoom in on the switch. Okay? They coming to get that up off you. They got your face and facial recognition. So as you pop up, they coming to get you. All right? That's why a lot of our people are going to die.
Just lead to a series of guns in our community, which ultimately leads to lives lost. And it is what's more troubling to me.
All right, Memphis Mayor Paul Young gave me this statement this afternoon. It reads, in part, MPD has always collaborated with federal agencies on addressing violent crime, and we're encouraged by any effort whatsoever that brings more resources to Memphis. We look forward to learning more from our federal law enforcement partners.
All right, so there you go. All right. There you go. That's all the spirit of YAHAWASHI. And the warnings have gone out, man. So you can't say you ain't know. You can't say nobody told you. The Lord sent the prophets. He speaks to the mouth of his holy prophets.
That's right.
So we had a warning of this time we're coming into, and then it comes. Guess what? You were warned. You were warned. That's the craziest thing. That's the scariest, most scariest part about it. Is the Lord warned you. Go ahead.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 4. And these are the words that the Lord YAHAWASHI spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah.
You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's the only people who the Most High is concerned about. He don't care about the so-called white man, the Chinese man, the Arab man. It's your two-third niggas that care about them. The Most High don't give a fuck about them. And they don't give a fuck about you or the Most High. Okay? The Lord is only concerned with the children of Israel. And you better find out what tribe you come from and get in line. Go ahead.
For thus saith the Lord YAHAWASHI, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace.
You know what makes people's voice tremble? When they're afraid. Okay? Fear and no peace. There ain't gonna be no peace. All you're gonna hear is gunshots all day long, every day. All you're gonna see is dead bodies. Okay? All you're gonna hear is people screaming, wailing. People, every day you're gonna see somebody dying. That's the time coming up to. That's when you know we're gonna be in Jacob's trouble. Okay? When you smell a new dead body every day. Okay? YAHAWASHI is not playing, and that's why he sent the warning out. He gave everybody a chance to get right. Go ahead.
Verse 6, ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child.
Right. Grown men gonna be getting shaken up, screaming. Like bitches, really. Okay?
Wherefore do
you ever see a grown man get scared at random? You know, he just scream. He scream like a girl. How you gonna hear grown men screaming out here? Okay, right now niggas put on the show, cause you're in a functioning society. When all hell breaks loose, a lot of these men are gonna turn to bitches, and then how much more the women and the children? Go ahead.
Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins?
Grown men screaming in agonizing pain. Go ahead.
As a woman in travail.
Like a woman giving birth. You know, you'll see a woman give birth, she's wailing. She's in pain.
Shaking.
So imagine Esau come through with some shit that light up, you know, like with a flash and blow your leg off. He got the power to do that. I don't know if you know. As the elders and apostles say, I don't know if they went up there and told you, he got the power to blow your fucking leg off. He got some shit that'll cut you in half, and you still alive. You know? Go ahead.
And all faces are turned into paleness.
Everybody gonna be afraid, you know, terrified.
Looking sick in the face.
Yeah.
Verse 7.
Stuck. Jake gonna be stuck. Oh, everybody playing games now, but when all hell break loose, everybody gonna come to their senses. And the first thing they're gonna think about is the men that told them.
Yeah.
But it's all over the world, telling your family, your friends, people that you go, some of your coworkers maybe, going out to camp, you telling the whole world, and they gonna remember you in that day. That's what they was talking about.
Hey, and it's gonna take something horrifying, okay, something dramatic to happen for people to start, really opening their eyes to reality, man. As the brother said, which we've been, speaking about, bringing it out. This is what Jacob's about to walk full flesh into, okay, with no clue, because they didn't want to listen.
Right.
It says, verse 7, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it.
It's gonna be a day like never before in history. The worst day in history. Okay? You ain't never gonna witness a day like this right here that we coming into. All right? This is the worst time in history, and the Lord is about to really turn up. This is, like I said, this is the last time. It's the last time you Israelites are gonna die, man. After this, you're gonna be changed. We in the last time to this ain't where it's gonna go on forever. But you're gonna be born again in the kingdom in your right mind. Okay? So a lot of our people are gonna have to face that last judgment, and it's gonna be gruesome. This is why the Lord is sharpening that sword.
It is even the time of Jacob's trouble.
Right, this is a particular time prophesied to happen. A very important prophecy. People think it's happening right now. People think it already came. Well, you're going to know when we really in that time, okay? It's going to be no denying it. There's going to be no confusion about it. You're going to know when we in that time, okay? Because your whole family might just be dead, okay? It's going to get real. Scripture says it's only going to be two of a city, roughly paraphrasing.
Two family up.
Two of family, two of us. How it's going to, people going to be dead. You're going to see 10,000 that you fall at your right and 1,000 at your left. People are going to be dying, okay? People all yabbed up with the use coming up on that 5 year mark, bro. It's not looking good. You're going to see people just dropping, bleeding from all orifices of their body, spazzing out, through, done. It's gonna break the news, man. That's gonna cause pandemonium. We're gonna say it's another virus, And they're gonna come down with this wrath. This is all according to their plan. But those of you that don't have the eyes to see and not paying attention, you're gonna be caught off guard. You're never gonna see it coming. Go ahead.
But he shall be saved out of it.
But he shall be saved out of the elect. All right, the Lord is dealing with his men, the elect men. You women, oh, the Lord dealing with me too? Fuck around and find out, man. Play if you want to. The Lord is dealing with his men. You have to be in line with a man of the Lord. Does that mean the Lord's not going to deliver you and you in a stick situation? No, but also he's going to link you up with the body if you're meant to be amongst the body. Okay? The Lord has a particular set of people on the face of the earth that are not going to be caught up in this. That's not going to die. And if you part of those numbers, which we hope that we are, those people, the Lord's going to deliver us in these times we're coming into.
That's right.
Everybody else, you're going to be completely destroyed, relentlessly. Esau is going to come down with great wrath. He's going to show no mercy.
That's right.
Go ahead.
I got a quick one right quick.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 21, starting at verse 9 in the GNT. And it reads, it says, verse 8, the Lord YAHAWASHI said to me, mortal man, prophesy, tell the people what I, the Lord YAHAWASHI, am saying.
Right, when we're just the mortal men that's prophesying and telling you what the Lord is saying. We got no say in this. We can't tell the Most High what not to do and what to do. He just telling us what to say. That's our job. We're just a mouthpiece. Say this. Go tell him this. Sometimes you may start the live up and just let the Spirit flow, and the Lord speaks through us, man.
Yeah.
These are the warnings from Yahweh, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, who you ignorantly call God and Jesus Christ. This is the warning. You can take heed or you can get gone. Whether you believe it or not, these are the warnings. Go ahead.
A sword is sharpened.
A sword is sharpened. Well, then when you just read how hide me from the wicked, which is thy sword, Esau is the Most High sword. Okay? His blessing was, the sword was given to him as a blessing. That was his blessing, the sword. So he's going to use it. Okay? He wasn't given the sword just to make it look nice. He wasn't given the sword just to sharpen it and make it look shiny for nothing. No, he's going to use it. And then it's not going to be, he might come and hit you with an actual sword. But this dude got bayonets at the end of his rifles now. He got AI. He got drones. He got all kind of stuff. Okay? He can hit you from any way, which way or direction. He's a cunning hunter. And he's been watching Jake, man. Go ahead.
A sword is sharpened and polished.
Perfected. When you sharpen and polish a sword, you're perfecting it. But what is a sword used to do? It's used to slaughter.
To kill.
To kill. And a lot of killing is about to go down. Go ahead.
It is sharpened to kill, polished to flash like lightning.
It's gonna flash like lightning. Esau finna come through on a late night and light the whole block up. Okay? He gonna make it look daytime outside. He got some shit like that, man. He'll make it look daytime outside in the middle of the night. All you gonna hear is Jake out there screaming, "Oh! Oh!" That's Jacob's trouble. I've seen that in visions. I've seen the Lord pulling Jake out of their house, cutting their ass down in the front yard, and throwing them in the back of vans and trucks and buses. Hey, man, we telling you the time he coming into. He come down, he gonna hit you, he gonna be, hold on, give me 5 minutes with this one. Close your woman or your child up in the room. While he got the rest of your family at gunpoint. This devil gonna come down with wrath. All right? They're not gonna have no mercy. That's a slogan from the New World Order. Show no mercy. They're not gonna show you no mercy. They finna come down. They finna come with it.
Yeah, that's right. It says, there could be no rejoicing, for my people have disregarded every warning and punishment.
Right, you disregarded every warning and punishment. The slavery after slavery, the punishment after punishment, our people disregarded it. They didn't want to take heed to the warnings of YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. So through the Spirit, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI is going to kill a lot of our people. He's going to kill a lot of these jakes, man. He's going to unalive them. All right, because you didn't take heed to the warning. You laughed and scoffed at the prophets. You think brothers out there for nothing? Okay, find out. F around and find out. That's the time we're coming into. All right, go ahead.
It says, verse 11, the sword is being polished to make it ready for use. It is sharpened and polished to be put in the hands of a killer.
Right, to get put into the hands of a killer. So he was given that sword as a blessing to do this ultimate job right here. Okay? That's why he said, when the days of mourning for my father at hand, I will slay my brother Jacob. Because he was always in the spirit. They have a perpetual hatred. Okay, we're going to warn you about these individuals. Hey, this is your problem.
And like she said, the task force is coming. This is a great example, you see, of what they're about to use when it comes to that slaying, man. It says, how in grief, mortal men, this sword is meant for my people and for all the leaders of Israel. They are going to be killed.
All you false prophets, that man that's not truly serving YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, man that's really playing with the Lord, thinking the Lord don't see what you're doing. Do you think you got away with that wickedness? The Lord is coming to kill. He said, I shall start at my house first. So when you see 2/3 getting judged, you're going to see some of these false prophets getting judged, man. Getting taken out, getting put to death. If they weren't truly sincere about YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, and on fire for YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, the Lord is coming to kill them. All right? And the rest of these niggas. Go ahead.
It says, they are going to be killed with all the rest of my people. Beat your breasts in despair. I am testing my people, and if they refuse to repent, all these things will happen to them.
That's right. The Lord said he is testing his people. He's testing you. That's why he got the prophets out there. To see how you react to him, to see what you do, to see what you say. You don't know that when you come up to the prophets, the men of the Lord, teaching out there on the streets, you have entered into the sanctuary of the Most High. Sure, it says, keep thy foot when you come to the house of the Lord. Okay? you don't want to give an evil sacrifice. So the Lord is testing you right now. He's giving you the warning. He's giving you the heads up. He's telling you everything. Some of us, brothers, we deal with individuals. We tell them 2 or 3 times. Try to urge them to get it. And after that, we reject. Okay? And pray that Jake get it. But a lot of people, they ain't going to get it. And when they don't get it, they're going to get left. Okay? You can't get right, you got to get left. Go ahead.
That was on there, so I got a quick one right here.
Hold on. Go ahead, bring that up.
Got it.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 15, verse 3. It says, and I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord.
4 kinds of death and destruction. Go ahead.
The sword to slay.
The sword to slay, which Esau is going to be that sword. He's going to come in your door, kick in your door. That's why you seen on the thumbnail, they were storming the projects. Okay? They're going to come in, doop, 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 doop. You know? What they call it? A damn hair trigger? They got hair triggers on their guns where they just... And they going to hit everybody one time. You know, shot to kill. Go ahead.
And the dogs to tear.
And the dogs to tear. And that's what I think about too when we talk about that white supremacy compound that they found out there in the woods of Tennessee, I believe. What a coincidence! I believe it was in the backwoods of Tennessee. You know, it was pretty big though, stretched over like a couple of states, I believe. And I guarantee you, they was at the training their dogs too.
Oh yeah.
They train their dogs to bite niggas, black ass niggas with blonde dreads. They got dummies out there for their dogs to bite. It's gonna be a black ass, dummy with blonde dreads, and it's gonna be that's symbolic in you Jakes.
Yep.
I did a video a while back how they're giving their dogs titanium teeth. So when they bite your ass, their teeth don't break. They bite you and touch your touch a bone. Their teeth don't break when you jump when you and they're gonna tear your flesh. Go ahead.
And the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth, to devour and destroy.
To devour and destroy. YAHAWASHI not gonna have birds picking out people's eyeballs as they lying dead in the streets. Okay, or dying. You might still be alive. You know how you see in the movies, somebody still be alive and the birds be flying over their head in a circle, the vultures, waiting for you to die. The moment you start drifting off, they already coming down and plucking your eyeball out. You still alive though. Can you imagine? In a sunny day in the middle of America, you just got shot and you laying, lifeless, but you still alive in the middle of the street. And a bird come down, a crow, comes down and just while you trying to rest your eyes, you just pick one of your eyeballs out. That's terrifying. YAHAWASHI got judgments prepared, man. Go ahead.
Oh, that was all right.
God, I got a quick one right quick to back you up.
Go ahead.
Speaking of those things, this is a book of Amos chapter 5, verse 19. As if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him, which you ain't gonna have no escape, man. It's gonna be death on these people's heels, man. It's just gonna be Jake, thinking they're gonna be able to fight their way out, but it ain't gonna be no way out, man. You're gonna have it where these things are gonna be happening simultaneously, and it's gonna happen quickly.
Right.
All right, you're gonna be seeing a lot of people getting dropped left and right.
Yeah, you ain't gonna be able to catch your breath.
Yeah, you're gonna be running, and you're gonna think you're getting away from one thing, and there's gonna be another thing on your tail.
Yeah, like Final Destination.
Yeah.
We was watching Final Destination Bloodline, and it was a death angel, which in the movie the death angel was a Jake, but they were showing you how in that movie how these people were trying to escape death. They were trying to outrun death, and death would just be coming in the most miraculous way, But it all is realistic. Lord can kill you in any kind of way. There be spirits that are created for vengeance,
That's
man.
the spirit I'm looking at right now.
There be spirits that are created for vengeance. The Lord when the Lord unleash these spirits, He's gonna have some of these FBI task force people that's gonna come in there with a demon on them, okay, and just go wilding out. It says, hold on, this is Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
You know, so these devils come up with these wicked devices and plans, you know, to destroy you, Jake. All right, ultimately to eradicate Jake. That's their ultimate goal, you know. But they can't do that, you know. Or since they can't do that, you know, they want to take as much of you out as possible. All right, you know, they just want to have open season. They ready to get their anger out, man. All right, so then these devils know that the Lord is coming back to save His people. All right, to redeem us, you know. And so before He redeems us, you know, their main goal is to exterminate us, you know.
Yeah, as quickly as possible. That's why you still have it where, even though it said way back, when they said Operation Warp Speed, you see, there's like the elite speaking to each other, man. They got to move quickly with these things.
Right. This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High, and have the testimony of YAHAWASHI HaMashiach.
Esau ready to comfort Israel, man. You know, they you know, like the brother brought out, you know, from the beginning, Esau said, you know, until this day I will slay my brother Jacob. You know, roughly paraphrasing. All right. So the dragon, you know, being Esau, is ready to, you know, is wroth with Israel, man. All right. You know, but the Lord's going to deliver His remnant, you know, His men, the elect, all right, from Esau's hand. But the rest of you niggas, you got to go, man. You know, these devils, the Lord's going to allow these devils to ultimately appease His wrath, but they're going to appease their own wrath just by destroying you niggas, man. You know, Esau love, you know, killing Jake, man. You know, makes him feel good inside. All right. You know, but
It's like a sport to them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's why you got, you know, you might say go out hunting and stuff. When they hunting them deer, they're in their mind, they're seeing it like a nigga running in, you know, in a neighborhood. You know, jumping over trees and shit. I mean, jumping over, you know, cars and fences. You know, Jake be hitting them fences, man. Esau see you like you know, like a deer in the woods. Okay, a buck in the woods. That's why he's calling us Jake's bucks. What's up, buck? You know, young buck. All right, and then you get buck broken. All right, this man is sick. You're gonna have a lot of weirdos on them task forces gonna come in your houses and do whatever they want to you. You can't report to nobody. The Lord is gonna be cold, man.
Yeah, and that's crazy you said that, because way back then, you used to hear them say, you know, Jake say, "Oh, he bucking."
Right.
You know.
Right.
like he running fast. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy though.
It's the spirit. Go ahead. What I got?
I got a precept.
Get ready to close out.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, and I want to start at verse 24 in the GNT. It says, "Sinners who do not keep my commands are doomed." Says the
Doomed.
Lord.
You're done. You're through. It said are doomed. Okay? That means you out of there. You know, BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI is got nothing for you in that day. Bring that back.
It says, "Sinners who do not keep my commands are doomed, says the Lord. I will have no mercy on them. Out of my sight, you rebels, do not defile my holy temple. Yahweh is aware of all those who sin against Him, and He will hand them over to death and destruction."
And that's terrifying, man. To know the only power that can deliver you and get you out of a situation ain't trying to hear none of that, man. You know, that's terrifying. You know, at the end of the day, that's the Lord putting them spirits on these individuals to afflict you.
All right.
That's even more terrifying. Go ahead.
It says, "Yahweh is aware of all those who sin against Him, and will hand them over to death and destruction. Terrible disasters have already come upon the world. There is no escape."
There's no escape. So there's no trying to dig yourself on the hole and bury yourself and think you're gonna get away with it, man. You know, the Lord has His eyes in every corner of this place, man.
Yeah.
And there ain't no escaping the fact of judgment when it comes. When the Lord comes to send out what appeases His wrath. Go ahead.
The scripture also says, who shall deliver out of His hand.
Right.
And the Lord's going to have a lot of you, Jake, in His hand, tormenting you and judging you, all right, unto death and destruction. All right, and no one's gonna be able to save you. No one's gonna be able to deliver you. You can't escape the Lord. All right, you know you may be able to get away from Esau, but if the Lord doesn't allow it, you're not gonna get away from his ass, man. You know, but it goes on and says you have sinned against Yahweh, and he will not rescue you.
And he will not rescue you. Terrifying. That's why seeking YAHAWASHI right now is the most important thing you could ever do in your life, man. Okay, getting this truth, because you're about to experience something way far greater than you ever imagined in life. That's about to come. Okay, that's gonna be terrifying, man. All right, these individuals they're about to have a good, they're about to have a great waking, man, or to some shit that they never expected was gonna happen. You know, Jake finna have the smell of coffee in the morning, man. All right, and it's gonna get real bad out here. You know, that's why you're getting this warning now through the Spirit prayer by Shemel Shai, because what's to come is it's gonna be a lot of bodies, a lot of death and destruction, left and right, man. Okay. Sister says it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of living power. Yahweh by Shemel Shai. So hey, brothers, got anything else? Hey, it's gonna be a lot going on. All right, these devils about to come down having great wrath, and it's about to get very terrible, man. So seek the Lord in truth and sincerity, okay, to the best of your abilities, man. All right, but we're gonna close it out. Face the east, and giving all glory and praises to
Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, QADASH.
Once again, double honor to those in the apostle of MILLSTONE who teach you one to next time we say Shalom.
Shalom.